Hello, this is Angela. Thanks for joining me. In today's session, I'll be giving you a short workout, a standing workout focusing on the glutes. Now, these muscles are quite important. They help to stabilize our pelvis so that if we wanted to balance on one foot, for instance, say rotate the body, they also play their part in actually making sure our whole lower body works in the right way that it should. They are very important for our leg health, particularly knees, because the stronger our glutes are, the less vulnerable the knees are to problems with tracking and being out of alignment. They also assist quite a lot in keeping our lower back quite healthy. Often the issue with lower back is that the glutes are not working as they should. So the more that we can get these muscles switching on, making them stronger, the better off we will be for it. Not to mention that as we get older, they're a big part of actually giving us that power to be able to keep moving with some purpose and some speed as we need to, so we don't slow down too quickly in that area. Okay, so to start off with, I have my prop, which is a chair. So if you've got a chair or a counter, that will be a good one to start with. We're going to come into this position where we're actually facing our chair. Feet are about hip distance apart. We're going to start by going down into just a little nano squat, a little squat. So for this one, pushing our weight back into our bottom and then coming back up again. So as you're doing this, checking that those knees are tracking directly in front of you, right on top of, right in line with those toes. You should be always able to see your toes as you're doing this, so that we know that the glutes are actually squeezing to stop our knees wobbling in or wobbling out. Back up again, keeping that core just nicely engaged. Really feel like you're digging into those heels to bring yourself back up again. So you've still got a little bit of movement through those toes. Okay, we'll just do a couple more of those. Think of that as our little warm-up. Okay, and from here, just bring those legs a little bit closer in. And from here, we're going to just take one leg, take straight back behind us. So just our toe is touching down the floor. Make sure that you haven't rotated your hips at all. So the knee of the supporting leg should be pointing straight ahead. So right on top of those toes. And from here, you can just shift your weight a little bit forward onto that leg. We're going to be lifting that other leg and bring it back down again. So it's just it's a squeeze through the glutes and then back down again. So just making sure that you're not switching on these muscles up here, you're just isolating them in that glute. The other supporting leg is just bent the whole time, so it's not coming up and down, it's just staying in that bent position. And in this position, we're actually still working the glute on the other leg as well, just in a slightly different way. So trying not to rely too heavily on your chair or your bar. See if you can do just a few more of these. So you've got our core muscle switched on, so which also helps to protect our lower back. And this will get quite tiring. In fact, you may feel the other leg tiring before the one that you're working. And let's do some little pulses. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, bring that leg in, that knee upright, and then taking it back again. So this is a bit more of a balance exercise. You want to try and get to the point where you're perhaps not needing those hands at all. Just taking that knee forward and back. But just check every now and then, make sure that your knee on that supporting leg is bent, it hasn't come up and down. It's still tracking right in line between those middle toes. So you can see those toes right over the top of your knee. Let's do a few more of those. What you can do also is just reach those arms forward to give you just that little bit of extra, balance. So you're counterweighting the back with the body with the front movement. Let's just do 2 more of those. And one more. Okay, let's bring that in. Let's do that same move on the other side now. Take your chair over, or you turn around, whichever is easier. Start with both feet hip distance apart from each other. Gently using your chair or your support just to hold you in that position. Lifting the other leg, taking the leg back. So bending that front leg, make sure your toes and your knees pointing straight forward. Your heel hasn't rolled in, so your heel is pointing back behind you. And from that position, core is switched on, shoulders down and back, lifting that back foot and putting it back down again. Really feeling that all the work is in that glute muscle. So you're not arching your back at all as you're doing this. Check that front leg, make sure that knee is tracking in line with the toe. Let's do a few more of these. Starting to feel this possibly in both Both glutes again. That's it, keeping that control through the movement. You will, glutes are a muscle group that always starts to burn when you work them quite hard. And that's absolutely fine. You might find when you're first starting doing this sort of thing that it is quite something that you feel a day or two later. But as you normalise to it and you can do them quite often, you feel it less and less. And let's pulse. Little pulses. Keep that core switched on. Let's go for just a few more. Shoulders stay down and back. Keeping that control. Check every now and then, make sure your alignment is still right on that supporting leg. And from here, let's go on to the next move. Bring that knee to the front and then taking it back again. So as you're taking this, the leg front and back, really making sure that that other glute, the supporting leg, is working to stop you rotating. You don't want to turn around at all as you're doing this. You should feel as if you've got those legs on two straight lines and that leg goes straight back and then it comes straight forward. It doesn't go behind the other leg at all. Let's do a few more. See if you can do a few without any hands. Reaching out, bring it back in. Oops, I nearly lost it. Keep that core switched on. Shoulders stay down and back the whole time. Checking that that heel is pointing straight back behind you. You'll know that, you sense it. Just a couple more. You should be feeling that burn in that, oops, that supporting leg. And last one. And give those legs a little bit of a wiggle. Okay, from here, standing so that you're turned around to the side from your chair, taking one leg out to the side. And from there, bring yourself down into a little squat. So you're pushing your bottom right back and checking again that this supporting leg, it's got the knee right in line with the toes. So we know that this glute is working. Core is switched on. From here, little moves up and down. This is a little bit more awkward as an exercise, and you feel it pretty quickly in that supporting glute. The thing, you don't have to do too many of these to feel them. Let's keep going, trying to keep that control. So that leg is going directly out sideways. So just check that it's not leaning to the front, really out to the side. And let's do little pulses now. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh. And give that glute a little bit of a rub. Let's finish off with just a few more of these on the other side. They're killers, these ones, aren't they? Especially once we've done all the others as well. So knees in line with those toes, core is switched on, shoulders down and back, sticking your bottom back a little bit, and from here taking that leg out sideways and then back down again. So it's not a big movement. We don't actually have a massive range of movement in this area, unless we're gymnasts. I'm talking to the non-gymnasts out there, okay? Lifting that leg up and down, checking with your supporting leg that you're not letting that knee buckle in. It's right in line. There should be a straight line from your hip down past your knee to your toes. You should always be almost be able to wiggle your toes there, so you know that you're not holding the weight in the front of the foot. That's it. Try and keep those shoulders back. Very easy to hold tension in the upper body when you're doing these. And let's go for our pulses. Let's do 5 more. So that's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And give those legs a little bit of a wiggle. So hopefully you felt that through the glutes as well. Let's just give them a bit of a stretch now. So in this position, taking one leg, crossing it over on top of the other thigh. So it's almost like a figure 4 that you're doing with the legs. Making sure that in this position that you're not letting the hip go out. So you're keeping that core switched on, and from there, sitting back. Pushing that bottom right back so you'll feel the stretch right through in that glute. And then come out of it. Let's do the other one. Taking the other leg over, sitting back, making sure that you're not letting the hips rotate. So you've still got those core muscles just gently switched on to control you there. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoyed is a strong word, isn't it, for what it is. But I hope you found it effective, and I hope you found that it's something that you yourself can do at any time when you've got a moment to yourself. So you only need about 5 minutes to give yourself a nice glute workout. And it is the type of exercise that you can do every day. So these muscles don't fatigue or don't require as much recovery time as, say, some of our leg muscles or our other bigger muscles in the body as well. So let's come back down again. Give yourself a little bit of a wiggle. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.